Okay, so I've got things ready, and I thought what we would do is the booklet. The easiest way I find for getting a perfect fold is to just hold it up like that on your scoreboard or any straight edge that you know is straight. And just give that a good push. And then do the same for your pages. And the pages I have done with copy paper, 24-pound. So it's not thin, but it's not too thick. It's not going to add a ton of bulk. And I'm not going to ink the outer, well the pages rather, the inner pages. Not sure, I might ink the outer. I'm not sure as well if I'm going to do patterned mats on it. There will be pattern mats in the program, but I'm just thinking maybe we have a lot of pattern already, so maybe just leave it raw in the craft paper. So the way I like to do these, you can do the sewing method, of course. What I would like to do is start with your first page and take your fine tipped glue. See if it wants to work today. And it doesn't. So I am going to get a different bottle and put some glue into it. There we go. Found these little bottles at, I believe it was Joanne. Oh, that's tiny. There we go. A little bigger than the metal, but that's okay. Grab a scrap piece of paper here and just wipe that away. Put that back. Okay. So we're just going to go with a very faint line right down the center. Whoops, well, I got off there. Now we're going to line it up. My head's not in the way. And do it again. Hope you can see that. Oh, that's better. Go right along that line. Two more. Glue definitely flows much better from that. think laying it flat like this works best. Again, these are done by hand, so don't panic if you find your corners aren't perfect, and you can take and just trim all that if you like and then re-round your corners. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think it makes a lot of difference. So now we're going to put the pages in the same way. Oopsie. Forgot this was smaller. And there we are. Ah. I've done this before and it worked fine. But, I guess it's working. I just got too much glue. We may have to go with a inner mat. Again, this is just one way to do it. When I do another album, we'll do the booklet and we'll do the page adding in a different way. Oh, that one really spread. Whoa, that one really got off. Okay. Let's see if our magic eraser will fix that. Nope, it's just starting to peel the paper. And it is only copy paper, so we'll just leave that. See, I may do mats and put them right up against the edge there, just to cover those. So that's one way to do it. So that gives you 10 pages, I believe. Yes, 10. So that I was just going to slide in there, just like that. Might have to trim that down a little bit. Maybe we just put it in here. Guess we could put it in there. Kind of thick for in there though. Maybe we'll have to find somewhere else for this. For this one, well, I haven't done my inking. I am doing just the mat for the number 2 lace rectangle. So the outer mat and the center mat. I just thought there was enough lacy lines in this that we could just go with a plain mat. I had thought about rounding the corners here, but I think I like it squared, so I'm just going to leave that. This ink up. And we'll glue this on. Lord. Okay. No, I wasn't supposed to do that. What if we put this on that side? No, that's the large one. Well, oh, goodness. Wow, I'm just making quite a mess, aren't I? So it doesn't matter what glue I use, I just make a mess. That will dry clear, as that was not my intention. My intention was to just mat the other side. But let's see if we can get rid of some of that. Oh, and I think I'm right out of camera. Goodness. I will have to watch this video back, and chances are I will have to refilm it. Okay, we got that, and we're going to put this in it there. And now we have a design on the back too. Because this glue is so liquidy, trying not to press hard. Or squeeze the bottle hard rather, so that I don't get it seeping. It's the last thing I want. And I got it anyway. Oh. I have to be careful not to rub hard with this. I noticed it just tore my paper down here, but it's probably because the paper was wet from the glue. Anyway, that is to go in there. And on this side, I have made just a plain envelope. I rounded the corners on it with a corner rounder and then just put a little bit of washi tape here to hold it closed. So it's just the plain envelope to tuck into that. And then I have a piece of, I don't know if it's lace or like trim. I guess it's just a fabric trim. And I'm going to glue right on there just to brighten up that brown. And for this I will use my Fabri-Tac. Trying not to get too much. Whoopsie. Spread that out. Oh, my fingers are just covered in glue. Hey. Because that was still wet, it came off nice and easy. See if we can get in there a bit. And there we go. I think I'll just leave this as is. Maybe I'll put, I was thinking of a little jewel in here, but that might be too much. We'll leave that to later. But I figured I'd leave that plain as it can be, you just tuck a photo in. Okay. So maybe, how much space is there? Oh, I think I've got enough that I could cut out a flower and put in here and maybe a couple leaves. So I'll do that and I'll be back. Okay, I realized that we totally forgot this pocket right here. So what I've done is I have made a little envelope, and I've just put a couple of the rectangles in it for now. And I cut this out at 75%. This, where are we? This one I did at 95%. I also had to print another piece of this paper to do that one. So that's 95%, that's 75%. So what I thought I would do is put 2 small ones in here. Yeah, you're gonna stick out too much, so I guess they'll go side by side. So we'll do this one together. And because it's in vellum, I don't have a whole lot of luck with vellum as far as scoring. I frequently cut right through it. So you have to go, oh, so gentle. And then when I try to fold it, it will fold its own way. So that could just be the operator. But I have 12 by 12 vellum. And it's Windworld, I believe it's called. Or that's the company that makes the vellum. I don't know if this particular one has a name for the design or not. And I'm not sure where you would get this paper. I came across an ad on Facebook, and a lady she had closed up shop and she was getting rid of all of her supplies. So I was able to buy with a friend. We went in together and bought all of her paper. So let me see, that one. Color is straw. So yeah, it's Windworld Extraordinary Papers. And they have a whole series of all different vellum. They have just plain color, and then they have the patterned. Okay, let's see. I don't usually burnish vellum. Again, I'm just terrified of it ripping. And as you can see, it does leave a white edge, but that's okay. So far, so good. You see, I got a little tear right there. You can see where I didn't get it there. I'll try to fix that. Yeah, just causing that part to tear even more. Let's see. Well, it's better. So we will do this side, since that's the troubled side, with, I've got 1/8 inch Suk Wang. So we will just put it here. Don't get it right to your fold. And just gently fold it. And you don't really see the tape. And we'll just tuck that in. No, we won't. I'll leave that one empty for now. And Take a piece of washi tape and tape it closed. There we go. So we'll have 2 of those in that pocket. There we go. Okay. I've also cut out another booklet. I have resized it. And when you put all the pages together, it looks like this on the end. So what I'm going to do is just take and cut those off. So I'm just going to line it up to the top one. And get my knife and just very lightly and then I'm going to go in and redo the corners. I have to take this off. Okay. Maybe we can do 2 at a time. This corner rounder is from Hobby Lobby, and it's their design, is it Design Studio? Paper Studio? Paper Studio, it's their brand. So there's those ones. Let's see if we can do 3 together. Three might not be a good idea. There we go. So now this time, oh goodness, look at that, they're still not. Well, I'll put those on the inside. Maybe that's better. Oh, I got a little bump there. Shouldn't affect our corner. Is that inside or outside? Outside. Okay. So what I'm going to do is work from the center. So we know this is 6 inches. I believe it's still 6 inches. Nope. It isn't. I didn't realize that I had changed the height as well. Okay. Well, yeah, it's 6 inches. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's go to the 0, and we know it's 3 here and it's 3 there. And I'm going to take my pencil and mark right on the line at 0, and at 2 on this end, and 2 on that end. And we will take paper piercer and poke holes. Now I can do the same here. Wow, I did not do a good job of trimming those papers. Anyway. Okay. These are smaller. So we will find the middle. That's pretty close. 0, 2, and 2. And again. And with copy paper, it's pretty easy to get them all at once. Okay. Now, I like to use embroidery floss. And will we match it to the pink or the brown? Maybe I'll do the dark chocolatey brown. I don't usually measure, I just unroll some. Grab my needle. Okay. I think I usually start from the outside if that's where I want the bow to be, and I'm fine with that. Leave enough for tying it afterwards. Back down to the bottom and up to the top, and nope, that's not the way. Okay, and I know where I went wrong. Should go right down to here. This is just a big, large, I think it's for cross stitch, so it's a blunt end. And down through the center. And I like to have a piece of floss on both sides of this piece. Now we'll just pull it nice and tight. Snip that off. And knot it. I think I will just cut them off. I won't do a bow. And it's that simple. So now this should fit in here. Still haven't decided if I'm going to do a, look at that. If I'm going to do, I think it needs something, a mat of some sort, but we'll just leave that for now. Now, let's put away. Now we have the flowers. So I've got 3 large and 3 small. I don't know if I'm going to use all 3 or not. And I have 3 leaves. So for the flowers, I will ink one just to show you how I do it. And I like using these little sponge daubers because you can see how it actually looks wispy and veiny like it does on real flowers. And I don't go at it really gentle or try to be perfect with it. Just all the way around, like that. And it's as simple as that. Now with, oh, what was I going to do with the small ones? Just let me grab, here it is. Gather twig, I hope it's going to be dark enough. Oh, I just need a dauber. Where did I put those? Here it is. And these are Tim Holtz Minis Distress Ink. I'm just going to put some brown in the center, just of these ones, just to try and match up to the brown here. I didn't want to put yellow centers because we don't have yellow in the paper. Okay. And with the leaves, I just went around the edges the same way, and I used Lucky Clover. And then to get the shape, I just bend it in half, starting at the tip and then just bend. That simple. So this flower and these leaves are in the kit. There's also going to be a bow, and oh, there are 2 other belly bands. There's going to be a wavy one, so it'll just be straight there. And there's this one. I think that's it. I'm not sure if I've got another one that follows the same wave. I'll have to check and see. But I'll have to cut those out so that you can see them. Now we're going to shape these flowers a little bit. Yep, just checking to see if we still have time on the camera. Okay. Not big enough. Ooh, no. My Heartfelt Creations one has broken. I have to get a hold of them. You can see one end it sheared right off when I was using it. Okay. So I like to turn them over and give them a little squirt of water. This is 65-pound paper. And this water has a little bit of, I think it's tea dye, or dye tea, or tea stain or something. It's a Tim Holtz as well. Just turn them over. Okay. I just like to do a little rolling like that, just to cup it up a little bit. Give it a bit of shape. It's always good to let them dry, excuse me, before you put them together, and then they stay in their shape much more easily. I just don't want these too dimensional because they don't have a lot of space. The next album I'm going to do 1/2 inch. So this is the mold I was telling you about. Here is one of the flowers. It's just a little one that I made using the 3D rose shaping mold and using their classic rose die cut. I have the stamp as well, I believe, but frequently I prefer to just have the flowers as is. So this is what it looks like. So you open it up, and what you do is you take your flowers and you put them face down into all of these little, wherever it'll fit. With the classic rose, when you use their classic rose dies and stamps, they fit exactly. For this, because this isn't made for their mold, anyway, you would put your flowers on, you'd mist it with water, you would put this on top, and you'd run it through your embossing machine. But this one is a basic one, so you can use it for a variety of different flowers. As you can see, it's just round there. So you would just put them on like that. And you would mist it and run it through your embossing machine. And they would come out with that design on them. So it works really neat. You get a lot of definition in your flowers. So if you use a lot of flowers in your decorating, I would highly recommend buying one of these. So you can check them out at heartfeltcreations.us, I think is their website. So anyway, that's that. So I have glued this on, and I went with 2 leaves and 1 flower. And I have these little amber colored stick-on jewels. I always like to give a little bit more glue because you just never know. And these come in a strip, so I just cut it off the strip, tuck that little bit of the tape under, and just place it in the center. So that gives it just a little bit of shine. This came, long sheets, probably 7 inches by whatever width this is. Whoopsie. So that's 3 3/4 wide. I buy these, if you're in Canada, it's at Dollarama. And now I've cut apart a bunch of these little swirls. These 2 I get at Dollarama. They come in packages like this, and they have a lot of different varieties. And if I'm not using it in the full, it's really difficult to use the full piece because it all just gets stuck to itself. And so I like to cut them apart and just use, you're probably getting a lot of glare, sorry, and just use pieces. And here we have a border that's similar to our scallop border. I don't know if, I'm going to try to work that in somewhere. So lots of different designs. When these come into the store, I buy up as many as I can because they don't get them often. So when they do, I want to get them. Now, let's not cut apart from this. Just take that apart. And my dog came up for a visit, and now she seems to want out. Apparently I'm making too much noise for her to nap. Just a minute, Lily. I have to put this down, okay? Yeah, just give me a minute. Sometimes they just fold right back up the way they're supposed to be. Other times they're not quite as easy for me to work with. I'm just going to let her out. Oh, no, she's roaming away. Okay. Now, one, this one. No, I don't like that. Maybe up there. Yeah, I like that. This still leaves you room where you could put a tiny photo if you wanted. Which again is why I don't decorate until after I have my photos in, because this sort of thing you can put right on top of your photos. Which I did with my son's wedding album. And I think I'm just going to cut this off. Maybe. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll stick another leaf in there to cover that. Maybe I'll put a small swirl up here or something. To glue the leaves, I just, oh, there she goes into my garbage bin because I'm not giving her any attention. I just put glue right on the spine where I pinched it and then just tuck it in. I'll have to hold this one for a second because it's on top of those other gems or lace beads, pearls, that's what they are, pearls. Okay. I'm just going to let her out while that dries. Out you go. Now something that I did is I switched the envelopes. So I put this one in here and I moved the two mini ones into this one. And I have decided that I absolutely have to do something here. So, do I want anything up top or will it? No, we'll just leave it like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut something out to put here and I'll be back.